And how are the children? That is the question that African warriors posed when they returned to their villages. The expected response was supposed to be, the children are well. I'll tell you though, if those African warriors were alive today and they posed that question to me, my answer would have to be, our children need to breathe. Our children need to exhale. I'm Betty Burney. I am the executive director and founder of the I'm a Star Foundation. I have devoted over 30 years of my life to empowering young people to believe that they are stars, smart, talented, and resilient students who are destined to change the world and who are destined to become America's next generation of leaders. With that being said, I felt compelled to make a statement. My statement will be on behalf of children and teenagers. So here's what we have. The COVID-19 pandemic literally turned the world of children's lives upside down. Think about it and put yourself in the mind of children. They had to leave their schools and go online for online learning quickly. With the transition, they had to leave everything that they had in the school. Put yourself in the mind of that high school senior. What? No prom? No graduation? No closure? Will I even be able to step foot on the campus of the college that I got accepted to and worked for 13 years to get into? America's children need to breathe. America's children need to exhale. So my statement to all adults is this. America needs to rely on science and scientists to inform us and to help us maneuver through this pandemic. Why? Because our children's very lives depend on it. We don't have time to make a mistake. So on top of the pandemic, our children then see a black man face down on the ground. They see a police officer's knee on that man's neck. And then they see that the man is asking, literally begging for his life. The police officer never moves his knee from that man's neck. And not only that, there were 3 other police officers who saw it and said nothing. America, our children watched television and literally saw a man being tragically murdered. Our children need to breathe. Our children need to exhale. So yes, America, it's time. It's time for us to have those thoughtful conversations and those deep conversations on systemic racism and on policing. And we need to follow up those conversations with policies. And then we need to hold representatives accountable to make sure that they implement those policies with fidelity. Why do we need to do that? Because our children's very lives depend on it. So what are the solutions? I have 3 very simple solutions. Number 1, I think that we need to ask young people how their lives have been impacted in the last 4 months. These last 4 months for them probably feels like 10 years. Asking them is one thing, hearing them is quite another. So the message here is, in order for us to help them, in order for us to heal them, we have to make sure that we hear them. Suggestion number 2, I think that we need to tell our young people just how proud we are of them for helping us to flatten the COVID-19 curve. Young people did their part. They did just what we asked them to do. I know they're kids, but they made sacrifices. And to them, their sacrifices were just as great as adults think that their sacrifices were. So I'll say it for you. Thank you, class of 2020. Thank you, teenagers. Thank you, children. The third and final suggestion is this. If we want our children to excel, E-X-C-E-L, then we have to help them exhale, E-X-H-A-L-E. If we want them to excel, we have to help them to exhale. So here's what I mean by that. I'll give you a vivid example. In 1963, my father summoned all of his children to come in, and watch something that was on television. I was 9 years old at the time. It was a raw experience with George Wallace standing in the doorway of the University of Alabama, vowing that those black kids were not going to enter his university. My father used that raw, gritty, ugly scene to teach his children about the importance of education, about the importance of advocacy, not only advocating for yourself, but advocating for others, and the importance of resiliency and being able to stand up and not back down. Being able to get up even when people knock you down. All I'm saying is use this moment, adults. Seize this moment to teach our young people that although there are some raw and gritty things that have happened, that everybody can do something, no matter how small, to make a difference. Teach them that they can take their little something and use that to make a difference. And that when they do that, they learn to advocate for others. They learn that the importance of being a role model, and they learn that there is nothing that will knock them down that they can't jump back up from and make a difference. We have to allow them to exhale in order for them to excel. So I close with this. We need to be able to say to the African warriors, if they come back and ask us, and how are the children, we should be able to say, our children are well, because we have allowed them to exhale, and now we see them excel. One other thing, the youth in my foundation are trying to help the class of 2020 to exhale and to excel. Our children don't want any money. All they want is your support. All they want is for you to be there to stand with them as they honor the class of 2020. In order to do that, please visit our website, www.imastarfoundation.org. Thank you for listening, and remember, if we want our children to excel, we've got to help them exhale.